Hi, this is Kim Bartholomew. I thought I would create a screencast for you to help give you some information on how to create different types of line charts to forecast financial information based on previous year's history information and using the linear regression technique and also simple average, similar to what we're going to see on our individual assignment 3. Some of the charts that we're going to look at today, you might want to create a line chart with some of these different techniques that you include in your memo for assignment 3 as you refer to the data and what it shows when you make your recommendations. So to gather some financial information, I went to the Google Finance area and specifically looking at Verizon, their annual data that's reported there. And we're going to look at the revenue for Verizon for the last 4 years. And then we're going to come back in a minute and also look at their net income, which will give us different types of financial information. So I translated that Verizon information here onto the spreadsheet, and the dollar values are in millions of dollars. So that's like $88 billion in 2006 that it's showing here. So the first thing we want to do is one of the techniques that's often used to give information about years of data is called the mean or a simple average. And so if we were to take the average of the 4 years of data, we'll just use the average function and select those 4 years of data. And the average is $96 billion, $96,700,000,000. That was the simple average. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and graph this line of the revenue, and then we'll put in the simple average, and then we'll do some linear regression techniques and some other techniques to try and forecast into the future and find a line that can help us to more closely match the data. So we're going to go ahead and insert, let's go ahead and select the revenue for those 4 years, and we're going to use a line chart. And this is just going to be Verizon's revenue. And you can see that it got the y-axis correct, as in the revenue, but if you look at the x-axis, that's not the years that we'd like to have in there. So we're going to select the data for our chart and go to the horizontal or the x-axis and edit that. So we're going to select the years rather than 1, 2, 3, 4 for that data. Okay, so that looks a little bit better. And then also we're going to, instead of starting at 0, let's spread this out a little bit and move it up a little bit higher. So we're going to change the minimum value here on the y-axis to be maybe 40,000 instead of 0. So we'll move that up. So that will spread this out a little bit. We can see kind of what's going on there a little bit better. So let's go ahead and graph that simple average in relation to the actual line that is the data for those 4 years. And I'm just going to insert a line shape at about 96,000 for the simple average. And I'm going to make that be red and a little bit wider so it shows up here better. And then I'm just going to add a text box to label that as the average. Okay, so that will give us some information here. So what we want to do now is add a linear regression line, and we're going to add a trend line here and forecast it out 4 time slots or 4 years from this year. So I'm going to click on the line that's my data and add a trend line.